Hello, Gemini, and welcome in. Today I'll be doing a card reading for you for the second half of July. We have some exciting things coming up in the second part of the month. On July 17th, we have the North Node shifting from Taurus into Aries. So that's a big change. We've been in that Taurus North Node for the last 18 months, and it'll be switching into Aries. And it'll stay there until January of 2025. So as a reminder, your North Node, that is kind of what you're meant to accomplish in this lifetime. That's what is it that you need to do to grow and move kind of out of your comfort zone. What are you aspiring to be? What is your life path? And that Aries energy, that's going to be that kind of fiery energy. And it's all about balancing that sense of wanting to take care of other people and do what's, good for other people with balancing what's doing or what's going to do the most good for you. So it is kind of that healthy sense of selfishness and kind of pulling away from, I guess, some of that martyrdom type of mentality. So at the same time that the North Node is moving into Aries, South Node is moving into Libra. So South Node, that is, what is it that you're still carrying forward from your past lives or earlier in this life? And what are some of those attachments that you need to overcome in order to move on your life path? So today's reading, we'll be taking a look at career, love, and then your life path and mission. So let's go ahead and dive in on career. So we have the Four of Cups in reverse. We have the Five of Swords in reverse. And we have the Fool in reverse. So with our Four of Cups in reverse, that's kind of that self-awareness, sadness, kind of accepting what cannot be changed. So that's what's kind of been in your past. Maybe you've been struggling from a career perspective and thinking, well, if I just did this, I could move the situation a little bit more, have it go in a different direction. And so some of this is about, you've maybe recently come to the realization that there's some things that you can't change. So then what does that leave you with? Maybe it leaves you with that sense of sadness of, I was hoping I could change this work career situation and I really can't. So the energy that you're sitting in right now is kind of like a resolution or compromise. So you've accepted it and you're working on trying to compromise it. And then the likely outcome, like the next step in the future for you, is the Fool in reverse. So that's kind of that hesitation, or maybe you're not ready to move forward and to start a new journey. So this is kind of saying, you've tried to change things. Now you're kind of coming to a point of acceptance, but you're not ready to actually move forward. So maybe you're just going to try to stick it out a little bit longer from a work perspective and see what that looks like for you. One of the other things that's happening this month, on July 22nd, we have Venus is going to go retrograde in Leo. So remember, when you have the planets going in retrograde, that's really a call to go within and see what it is that needs to be healed or addressed, so that way you can move forward in your own truth. So you can stand in your own truth. And that Leo energy, that's that creative self-expression. So as of right now, you're not ready maybe to take that next step to start a new journey. But with this Leo energy coming in with this retrograde, maybe that'll give you some ideas about what you could do differently. Maybe it'll give you some ideas about a different career path. So next, let's take a look at the love situation. You have Five of Wands in the past, Queen of Pentacles in reverse in the present, and the likely outcome or the future is Knight of Wands in reverse. So this Five of Wands energy, that's going to be that kind of conflict or rivalry, or so maybe if you're in a relationship, maybe you've been butting heads with the person recently, or there's some jockeying for position. One person wants things one way, the other kind of wants it another way. And so you've kind of been butting heads a little bit, like you're not really on the same page, but then in the present, your Queen of Pentacles in reverse, that's kind of, I'll call it like a more of a greedy or selfish type of energy. So right now, you've been butting heads, and right now you're kind of in that mindset of, I want to do what I want to do. I would, I want to pull some of this back towards me. And then your likely outcome here with the Knight of Wands in reverse is a little bit of kind of like anger or recklessness. So if you're continuing along this path of, maybe be prepared that there could be some hurt feelings. It probably warrants taking another look at what is this selfish energy that you're sitting in. I remember I watched that Dexter First Blood season, so kind of like the one that happens after the main Dexter series. And one of the comments that was made in that, one of the characters said to another one, anytime I'm mad at somebody, I do something nice for them. And the character that was on the receiving end of hearing that message kind of was a little confused, like, well, what do you mean you're mad? And so that's kind of that reminder. And I've tried to remind myself of that too. If I'm upset or hurt or angry about something that somebody else has done, maybe just do something nice for them instead. Maybe they didn't mean for something to come across the way that it did. And so I think keeping that in mind, rather than sitting in this selfish energy of kind of, my way or the highway, it might be worth taking that sort of an approach of, I'm upset, but I'm going to do something nice, and see if you can move this outcome and change the course of the cards here so that you can avoid that, Knight of Wands in reverse, because that really is kind of like that anger, recklessness, arrogance. And that's probably not the energy that you want in your love life and in this romantic situation. So let's take a look at your life path and mission, and then we'll take a look at some oracle cards. All right. And here you have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, a lot of reverses today, and then you have your Seven of Cups. So in terms of your kind of recent past with the Two of Pentacles in reverse, that's kind of like too many balls in the air. So normally when it's in the upright position, it's more about, you're juggling priorities, and maybe you have a decision that you're trying to make between this or that. In reverse, it's kind of like you're just unorganized. There's too many balls in the air. And so, maybe you've gotten to that point of, I don't really know what direction my life is taking. I don't know the path. It could be this, it could be this, it could be this. And so that was kind of the feeling that you had. And so now with your Page of Cups in reverse, there's a little bit of that sense of like disappointment right now. Usually the pages are about new paths and new, and the Page of Cups being kind of a new way to think about it, a new offer coming in. And in the reverse, it's kind of a little bit of that disappointment, and you don't really know what direction to go. So because you've had too many balls in the air, it's kind of led to that disappointment. But in the future, we're seeing, with this Seven of Cups energy, there's still some of that indecisiveness, and you do need to make a choice, but there's a little bit of daydreaming. So some of it is a matter of finding that clarity, what is that path, and not the pie in the sky. Oh, I want to be a famous Hollywood actor or actress, but I'm not really very good at acting. I don't want to put in the time and effort for it, but wouldn't it be great if I was, unless you're willing to back your dreams and your desires and your goals with energy and attention and focus. And sometimes it's going to require you to put some financial backing to it. Unless you're willing to commit resources to it, you're not going to get there. So this is kind of, you need to be realistic about, if you've had too many balls in the air and you've been disappointed, what do you need to do to get back on your path? And hopefully some of this energy, this Venus retrograde in Leo, some of that creative self-expression type of energy will help you narrow in your focus so that you can really think about what direction do I want to go and be able to move that into fruition for you. So let's take a look at the soul journey card for you. And Spirit, guide us to what Geminis need to know for the second half of July. All right, what's coming up here? Denial. So the main part on here, denial, and then this will be the affirmation to help you address that is, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness. So some of this denial could be, related actually to any one of those three, that you're not really looking at it with as much clarity as you could. So definitely for the second half of the month, with all of these changes, with the North Node, South Node changes and this retrograde, go inward. Focus, use that retrograde time, focus within, and try to help bring some clarity to this. Your jumper card here on the moon cards was a time for healing, the balsamic moon. And I'll pull a regular one too, since we had a jumper there. And so maybe some of these kind of stuck energies is related to healing that you need to do. And like I said, meditate and contemplate. So new moon in Pisces for that one, but meditate and contemplate. So really, really turn that focus inward and see what you can do to find that stillness, find that clarity to be able to help resolve or move some of these situations in a more positive direction, and really getting grounded, going out in nature. Hopefully you're in a space, a physical space where maybe you can either go for a walk in the park, or maybe you can go to the beach and stand in the water, help kind of ground yourself like that. Or even if you live in a big city and there's not really any parks, maybe you can go for a walk in the sunshine and just kind of be in nature. That definitely helps with the grounding, and maybe that'll help bring you some focus and clarity as well. So here's your spirit animal card. Squirrel, always prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future, and life will give you all that you need. I really feel like this goes well with this life path. The whole thing of don't let life's distractions take you off course. I think in the recent past you have had maybe too many things going on, and it's been hard to focus. But if you make a plan for the future and really focus in on what that plan is, hopefully you can push some of this through to get you a little bit further along on your path. So I'll be doing another reading for the first half of August. And until then, I'll be doing the daily card pulls. So feel free to check back in the morning for that. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. But hopefully this has given you at least something to think about as we head into the second half of the month. So as always, many blessings for you and best wishes on your journey. And hopefully you find a sense of peace, and look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.